Hi guys, happy Friday. It's Alté Ldn podcast back again. It's me, Afia, and we also have
Charlene
in
that
the
sounds so good.
and yeah, we're back again. For what episode? I don't even know what episode this is now, but it's another episode for you guys. This week has been pretty heavy. If you've been following the news, obviously coronavirus is still going on.
Miss Rona is not letting up. But also for us black, beautiful people, we've suffered another loss to our community in George Floyd, which is super, super sad. Obviously, I'm sure you've seen the situation on social media and on the news. But, we definitely need to stand together and stand up. And we just can't, this can't keep happening to our community. I think it definitely hits a sore spot for everyone. We've got a virus which, is kind of killing people like unbothered, like just attacking any man, don't matter who you are. And then you've got like people that are actually like making a decision to do mad shit. So, it's crazy that it's happening. And,
100%.
Obviously bless up to everyone suffering, bless up to all of us beautiful black people. Blackness is power, and we are unapologetically black. It says that in our bio, and we stand by that. So
100%. We've got us at the end of the day. Like, unfortunately, we're the only people who have us. But black people, if we stick together through these times, we can try and uplift each other. But yeah, we've got you.
Definitely.
You've got us.
And so with that in mind, actually, interestingly enough, now we're not making light of the situation by any means. However, definitely we have to think about ways in order to sort of bring, I guess, joy to our lives and positivity.
Yeah, a bit of positivity.
I think we definitely need to think about being like more of a solution focused or solution driven community. And there's so many things that people are doing to, help seek justice and things like that. But we thought that we would talk about being black and in the workplace, because I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, whether you're black, whether you're an ethnic minority of any sorts. There's some weird stuff that happens.
Yeah.
Some weird ass stuff that happens, man. But yeah, so let's go. Let's start from the beginning. Where should we start?
There's so much to say.
Definitely.
I feel like a big one is definitely like hair situations.
Yes. Okay. So
like
you have to unpick hair though. Like.
Yeah. Literally.
Okay. So to start with, when you first when they first see you, and I say they, I'm mainly referencing white people, but not just white people. There's other, there's other races, or there's other races as well. But they look at you and they're like, "Oh my gosh, your hair is so cool," or "Oh my gosh, how long does it take?" It's like the different,
yeah. I don't even mind the how long does it take, but it's just the confusion. It's like, oh, your hair was short the other day, now it's long. Like, oh, how did you do that?
So what's with the voice though?
And it's like, because that's the corporate voice.
Okay, is that what we're calling it? The corporate voice.
The corporate voice. We're like, oh, did you get your hair done the weekend? I was like, yes, I had it done. It's just all.
How do they do it? Like, is that a French plait? Or is that a lot of French plaits together? Like,
yeah, exactly. And it's just too many questions, and okay, I understand. Look, there's ways to ask respectfully, and there's just ways that you're just being nosy. it's when you're actually looking in my head and wanting to actually touch my hair, and like move the braids. You're going too far. You can ask me, how long did it take? How do you do it? That's fair enough. I don't mind that. But it's the touching.
And the thing is,
just looking at me like a project.
The thing is, though, like, I actually, because I'll be thinking, so I went to, predominantly white schools pretty much growing up, right? So I've really been used to this. And, like, I just be thinking to myself, like, okay, let me give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, is it just because you're genuinely feeling inquisitive? Like, are you really trying to understand, trying to just like relate with me on like a different level kind of thing? Or is it like, okay, do you know what? I'm just like, I just want to be nosy, or I might want to make fun of you. Because to be honest, like, I'm not going to front, like, when people don't understand something, they kind of tend to like be scared of it and like maybe make fun of it and stuff like that. And that's definitely happened as well. So it's just weird though. Like,
see, me on the other hand, I went to a predominantly black school, so it was none of that. It was more like, oh my god, your hair's sick, who's your hairdresser? Like that sort of thing. Like people wanted to like be like put me on that sort of thing. It was only until I started working that I ever experienced anything like that. And actually, it wasn't even so much for my colleagues, because this is when I was working in retail. It was mainly like customers. So like colleagues would be like, oh yeah, your hair looks nice. Like, how long did it take? Just normal questions, and like it was fine. But I remember working in this store in Wimbledon, so Wimbledon Village, which is like upper middle class.
I mean, you're giving deets right now, fam. But okay, carry on.
It's fine. I don't work there anymore. What can they do? So Wimbledon Village, that's where I worked. And this one lady, I just got my braids and she was like, oh my gosh, your hair. And I was like, yeah, my hair. She's like, can I touch it? And I just looked at her. I gave her a look as if say, no, you cannot touch it. But lo and behold, she touched my hair anyway.
What? No, wait. Like, so sorry, she violated you?
She just put her...
She actually violated you? Are you mad?
She touched my hair, and I was just... And when you're so in shock, like, usually me, I would say something, but I was in shock. I was like, I gave you a look to say, no, you cannot touch my hair. I shouldn't even have to say anything, because you wouldn't ask anyone else if you could put your hand in the head. And she just touched my hair, and she was really satisfied, like, wow, that's exactly how I thought it would feel. No, and I was like, a violation, what? No, what is it? I'm trying to do my job, do you know what I mean? And I'm in Wimbledon Village, do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to cause like drama in Wimbledon Village,
because these times then man's gonna call the feds,
do you know what,
and they're gonna be like, yo, this nigga girl is going out of hand, getting out of hand. And yes, they'll refer to her as a nigga girl, because that's and it's just that's wild. So no, and then everything goes left. So I'm just there like smiling. I'm like, yeah, that's my grinning teeth. I'm like, anyway, should we continue with this sale? And it's just like them times like that. It's just very strange. It's strange. That's what I would say. It's strange. Okay. I would never understand it. So we're going to do a PSA, a public service announcement. Do not ever touch someone's hair. Like, we do not go to other people and touch their hair. So I'm so shook. Like, when people start even making the motion to come towards me, I'm like, I'd be jumping back like, wagwan B.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, wagwan B. Like, what's going on? Like, I get it. Do you get me?
It's like, confusing. I don't know where, especially with this coronavirus now. Yeah, I don't know where your hand's been.
I'm telling
you. You used to be putting your hand in my hand. No, it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be. It's just like, like, imagine when people want to touch people's babies. Like, you don't do that.
No,
like,
you have to seek permission.
You don't do it.
You have to seek permission.
You don't.
And to be honest with you, even when you seek permission, that to me is already saying a lot, because I don't understand why you're even asking me. Like, because you shouldn't be doing it at all. Get me? Like, if I hand you my baby, like, oh my gosh, then okay, cool. Then you've given but why are you even asking me permission for? I mean, guys, on that note though, you're talking about hairstyles, but
consent is key, guys, and that is not just like with like sex. It's with a lot of things. Consent is flipping key.
Listen, consent is key for everything, yo. But not only your hair, because you referenced like having your hair done, but even your natural hair as well, right? That is the absolute worst. Like, fam. So my natural hair kind of doesn't look. If I actually brush it anyway, it doesn't look like super afro-y all the time, and so people be shook, like, what's going on? Like, why is your hair like that?
What's going on?
Nah, what's going on? Like, why is your hair like that? Because, but listen, we don't all look like we're from a tree bush. Do you understand? Like, and it's true. Like, and listen, more power to my girls that have got a bush, yeah, because I would really like one. But like, them man always think that we're literally like fluff, like our hair looks like fluff. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't understand that black people do actually have different types of textured hair.
There's loads of different textures.
Some of us have really coarse hair, some of us have really straight hair. My hair's like, I don't actually know what like texture my hair is. I know it's definitely not 4C, because it's not like that. It's not that coarse. It's quite like straight, but then it's I've got a weird hair texture. I don't know what it is.
I would say the same for me too though. Like, I don't really know what texture my hair is.
Yours is quite straight. Like, I think we have similar ones.
Yeah, and my hair's also not like, my hair's not black. Like, my hair's, I think, quite
your hair's quite brown. It is,
so
it's quite brown.
It's weird though.
Yeah, a lot of black girls have brown hair though, and that's another thing that like shocks people who are like are not black. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you've got different colour hair. Yeah, it's possible. Definitely possible.
It's mad. But listen, we all know the struggle of we need to get our hair done, and listen, sometimes work as L.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is actually not even like working in the workplace. But let's actually go back to when we first started getting our hair done. I want to talk about like going to the hair salon when you were young.
Oh,
because
my actual
because
days.
everyone has got an emotional story about going to the hair. So you know them ones like they're like, yeah, hair appointment's at 2:00. Yeah, come through at 2:00.
Listen.
You get there at 2:45 because you're a good customer. You're early. And they're like, oh, you've just got a few more girls to see before you, but I'll get to you.
A few more.
It's not a few more girls. There's about 6 more girls in front of me. Yeah, exactly.
The way my heart used
There's
to
about
cut.
and you're trying to be polite. You're like, okay, I'll wait. It's now 2:30. No, my hair's still dirty. No one's even put water in my hair to clean the hair. I'm still there. It's now 3 p.m. Nothing's happened. And they're like, oh yeah, come, we'll wash your hair. And you get your hair washed.
And then they leave you there twiddling your thumbs, fam. Another half an hour. They leave you there for another 5 hours because they've got how many more weaves to sew in. You're taking the piss.
And you're just there for simple cane roll, like 1-2 cane roll, like please, like I just want my hair twisted up, cane roll, something.
Listen, I've been traumatized so much by hairdressers. I can't like it's heartbraaking. Like there's been some hairdressers I've just had to make rudeness on because you know what, yeah, you're not gonna take the piss out of my time. Like if see me, yeah, I'm not perfect in my time. At the same time, if I'm running late, I will holler you because there's some people that I do understand like they'll run late and they won't even holler their hairdressers. I think it's fucking out of order.
Yeah, it's rude.
Out of order. But rude. I will actually holler you if I'm running, and the most I'll be like half an hour late maximum. Like that's the maximum I've ever been, half an hour late for an appointment. These times there, my hairdresser, I used to go to her, and let's be clear, she used to do her hair out of one shambolic stinking house. Yeah, it was fucking disgusting.
Oh, no.
It smelled of fucking cigarette smoke. It was disgusting.
Oh, no.
It was in a room with a chair, and then there was just like fucking shit just dropping on me the whole time. Like it was disgusting.
Oh, no.
But you know, I used to go there because see me, if I find a hairdresser that suits me and can do everything I need to do, I'll just keep going there. Like I like convenience in it, and I like to support people. Like I'm definitely a dedicated customer. So you know, I was going to her for a good 4 years, and the problem is, I feel like them man get complacent because I used to go to her. I used to get my hair done. Anyone knows me knows I used to get my hair done every 6 to 8 weeks. Like I just don't like having my hair in for that long. And boy, has time changed. I used to go there, and like I said, one stinking ass fucking house, and in South, and genuinely one day I rushed there from another appointment. It was snowing, it was horrible, like it was literally it was so bad, and literally I had taken an Uber from the other appointment to the hair appointment just so that I could make sure that I was somewhat on time. I'm
those are the most annoying ones as well when you're stressed.
I spent money. Like I'm already about to spend money on my hair. I spent money to take me there when I could have gone on the bus for free. I spent money, okay? And then I get there now. I'm on the way there, because I already know she moves a bit different sometimes. I'm hollering her. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be here this time. Like I'm gonna be there on time. Like this is how far I am away. Like I'm constantly updating her. She's like, yeah. Like I'm there. I said, cool. Fam, why do I get there? I'm calling her. I'm like, where are you? She goes, yeah, I'm on the bus coming.
No.
Afia.
It's from when you know that you've already spent money
snow,
on the cab.
In the stinking fucking snow.
No.
She came 4 hours later.
No.
But the thing is, I had to get my hair done. I actually had to get my hair done. So it's like, what was I supposed to do? I got pneumonia that day on my life. Praise God, I made it free. I got pneumonia that day. It was a fucking joke. In the snow.
That is actually just
I had to go and sit in the nearest McDonald's so I wouldn't like literally die of hypothermia.
Oh my God.
It was I was shook. And that day.
That's actually worse than hairdressers and not saying something. Like, you know, actual hairdressers like going in. That's actually worse.
No,
wow.
Listen, and literally I had to make rudeness on her, but I had to get my hair done, and I took money off because I'm sorry, you're not going to waste my time like that, and I'm going to pay you full price. Are you mad?
Yeah,
definitely. And then when I took money off, she was just like, oh, what? Like, I still did your hair, I did it so nicely, and you're not even paying me. I said, no,
but you were late.
Because I already explained to her the situation before she even started. I said, look, for every hour that you was late, I'm taking £5 off, because I'm sorry, I work hard for my money, and this is a waste of my time. You could have taken time away from me from making the money that I need to pay you.
Yeah,
are you mad? Are you actually mad?
No, it's actually
like I lost my shit. Like you saw a different kind of
See, I would have thought that like those, because like now I don't go to the actual hairdressers, like, you know, like I go to like my one lady, I'm not gonna say her name, but like, you know who you are if you're listening. Like she does my hair beautifully and she's on time. She does. And like every time, that's my girl. Like I love her so much. But yeah, like when I was in the hairdressers, the only bad experiences I had. Like, have you had the experience when you go and you're like, oh, I just want to trim? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. So I'm coming to get a trim, like, you know, usually like a couple of inches, like that's fine. Why is half of my hair gone? Why is half of my hair gone? I was like, I remember like sitting there with tears in my eyes. And I was like, Mum, because my mum used to wait for me. I was like, Mum, and she's like, yeah. I was like, what happened? And she's like, and she was looking at the woman, was like, why have you cut all my child's hair? And the woman was like, oh, it all needs to go. You know, it was all like dead ends. No, it wasn't all dead ends. I feel like they're spiteful. When you're young, you have like good
spiteful.
hair.
No,
my
they
hair
actually
was
are
long.
spiteful.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe they're looking to sell it, innit?
Well, I don't know. But people
like
just
sew it on some wefts and sell it as weave, innit? Like fucking Bayesian hair.
Yeah, fresh Asian hair. But yeah,
nah, it's out of order. It's actually nah. I'm actually low key. I've got PTSD, and that's not even me. I'm not making light of it.
That's
from
why I don't
hairdressers.
Yeah.
No, I've actually got one lady now who's calm. Obviously, she works out of a hairdresser, so I can't go to her at the moment. But she's actually good. Like,
this
she's
when you find your hairdresser, stick with them.
You say that. You say that, but then that woman that I was
lady,
going to before
true,
but they get complacent. That's the problem. If they, and I think what it is it's the aunties, they get complacent, because I feel like the person you go to is like kind of like not too dissimilar from our age, right? Like, she's not that much older.
I actually don't know how old she is, but I think she's probably.
But she's quite young.
Yeah.
She's like British, if you see what I'm trying to say. And like, I just feel like for me personally, my experiences have always been bad with like the African aunties. Like, they take the piss. Why am I in a dungeon stinking of smoke? Don't make sense. But yeah, we all know anyway, like I was saying, the struggle when you need to get your hair done because man's going on holiday, you got a party to go to, so sometimes work is the L. Work is the L.
Yeah, like. You have to. Some days, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, you know, them days when, like, you know, your hair is going a bit left, but your hairdresser comes through last minute, they're like, yeah, I can do your hair. So you're like, shit, like, I've got work, but I'm going to have to call in sick.
The toss-up is real, isn't it?
I'm going to have to call in sick. I'm sorry.
Listen, we've got a no judgment zone here, so I want to hear nothing
is a safe space.
From any of you people.
This is a safe space.
It's a safe space.
So there's them days when you like, you need, it's like hair or work. I'm sorry, I got to get my hair done. And it's the same for me as well with my nails. You know how I'm with my nails. Which I used to get done.
If it travels far.
If I travels far. But I can't.
She travels out the country. Like, when I say to like a whole different area of the country,
my nail girl.
It's not even considered as South London or South East or nothing. Mate, like,
we're going to the south. I'll go to the South Coast. That's what I'm saying. I'll go to the South Coast. That's where it is. I'll go far.
Like, she travels far
because my nail girl is A1. No one's topping her.
She's A1 and
she's
stuff.
A1. No, it's worth the money. But anyway, back to the hair. There's days where you used to take days off to get your hair done, and that's fine. You know, it's one day. Have you ever done that? Is there ever been a time where you've just had to like, no, I need to get my hair done?
No, listen, I'm not trying to be funny. When you're going on holiday,
right?
Like, it's weird because, like, you know, you're going on holiday on the 10th of June and you booked it from 6 months ago, but somehow it becomes the 8th of June and you still haven't had your hair done.
Like, and you're panicking.
So shit has to happen, innit? Like, you have to make magic happen. Like, if you're taking the day sick, cool. If you're saying you're going to work from another location and you're not really, then cool. Whatever the fuck you need to do in it. But I'm sorry, it takes precedence because I actually went on holiday one time without having my hair done and it was actually Pete. Yeah, I went away. Really so the whole time, and so for those that don't know, I've got a Mohican basically, so both sides of my head are shaved. Didn't have time to get any of it done, and so to get my hair done is long. I've got to go barbers to get my hair shaved on the sides, then I've actually got to go hairdressers to get the middle plaited or whatever the case is. And that's the reason why I liked my woman who had the stinking ass house, because she used to shave my head as well. And I've never found anyone else that can do both, which is so annoying. But yeah, so she so I was going away to Mauritius, and you know, beautiful country, so obviously spectacular pictures could be taken, and the time ran out. So I had to go, and I literally tied a scarf around my head the whole holiday, and then we were there for like an event, and so for the event I tried to finesse something, and it was to a point where like people ask me like, Charlene, like, what's going on? Is there something, like, are you okay? Are you ill, or is your hair just not done? Like, because and like someone actually asked me that, and I was really taken aback, and I've been traumatized since. Like, I'm not even gonna front because I was hurt. Like, she really asked me like, is everything like okay? Like,
are you going through something?
Like, are you going through something? Like, she was like, are you ill? Like, is that why you're covering your head? I'm like, wow. Like, I didn't know it had to be that deep. Do you know what I mean?
It is sad though. I mean, like, the only time when I went away, that I didn't have my nails done, and I thought that was bad enough. So I've never been without. No, I'm sorry. Like, this sounds so like princessy, but it was the ghetto. So I had to paint my own nails, and it was chipping. And I was like, what is this? I was like, I'm on a holiday. I had to paint my own toenail. No, it was disgusting.
It was the ghetto.
And I was like, no, I should have my acrylics. I should have my gel polish. Like, nothing should be chipping on holiday. And it was so I just didn't have the time. It was the same thing like a couple of days before, and I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get to flipping the South Coast when I got away in 2 days, and I still need to pack. So no, I couldn't do it. There was no time.
Oh my gosh. But back to being black in the workplace though, guys, I'm sure you guys can all relate. Oh, what's that smell? What's that smell? Like, why is the whole office smelling though?
Is it the Caribbean?
Is it like, what's that smell though? Oh, sorry, no, actually the smell's really nice. Shut up. You didn't say that 2 minutes ago. Listen,
what we're talking about?
Our food's got seasoning. It's got seasoning. Okay? That's what you can smell.
Cooking
seasoning.
Your food at work, guys. Having your home food at work. So I'm sure I feel like most ethnic people, I mean, like most people bring their own food to work, but I think especially like ethnic people, they do bring their own food into work, because like I can't be eating sandwiches every day. That's just not how I'm living my life.
It's not good for the digestion or anything.
Hot food for every meal. That's what I like
100%.
to do. So we've got, sometimes I'm bringing my rice and peas with chicken. Sometimes we've got some like curry, you know. Charlotte, what do you bring? Like so many nice things. What do you bring in?
I bring in.
You got like fish.
Basically, my mum's cooking.
Yeah, your mum's cooking.
Fish. You got African food galore.
Yes,
as we may have mentioned, I'm from Sierra Leone, so therefore, like, we have lots of different soups and things like that, which are, you know, spectacular. Obviously, J rice, jollof rice, and classic. You know, just everything to go with it. And yeah, it's whatever I can get really. I personally love eating like what I call my native food in the office, because it just makes me feel like I'm, you know, in my native country or whatever. But mate, the amount of looks, but it's like, don't you know that your food looks like dog shit?
But it's like, I think like,
but don't you
it's the same thing with like the
weird.
hair though. Like, I don't mind you asking like just normal questions like, oh, like what are you eating today, like that sort of thing. But it's when like there's been times in like my other workplaces that people are literally coming in like looking over my shoulder and like looking into my bowl. I'm like, sorry, can you not see what I mean? They're like, oh, what have you got there? What have you got? Oh, rice, a bit of rice and peas. I'm like, yes.
I'm all here for having conversations about food, because listen, we could talk about food all day, yeah. And I like to educate people as well. Like, you know, there's such a thing in some places that we've worked, or I've worked, where we do like food shares, where people try different people's food, and that's actually really cool.
Food in the workplace, it's a stressful one.
It is, man.
What other things that happen in the workplace? What are things that like?
I feel like obviously we can't talk about it without like talking about small prejudices. You know, I feel like unfortunately, you know, I feel like my parents always sort of like prepared me for this, being that they worked in that corporate settings their whole lives, and as long as I've been about. And I think it's not that I didn't believe it as such, but it's more like, I don't know, I just thought, okay, like, you know, I appreciate that's happening to you, and obviously that's such a shame, but, you know, by the time, you know, I get to that stage, like, you know, I feel like everyone's going to be a bit more, you know, a bit more like, it's going to be like regular, isn't it? Like black and Asian people in this country or whatever, or other races are in this country, so, you know. And really, it's just not the case. Like, no, I'm actually still shook that racism's still a thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you, especially in the workplace where it's so obvious as well.
There is, but it's the underlying racism, which is like the worst thing. So it's the things where it's not like completely like overt racism. We're not saying, oh, you black shit, like that sort of thing. Imagine. It's them things where like, oh, you know, like, oh, do you want to take your tone down a little bit? Like, oh, you're becoming a little bit aggressive. 100%. So you're giving me microaggressions here. And I know what you're trying to say, but obviously I can't retaliate, because then I'm going to be seen as the aggressor, because, you know, what is everyone calling them now? Karens. And I think that's letting off lately.
Where did I hear that the other day? Someone was talking about Karens. That's so funny.
So is that women? I think people it was around before, but like obviously this is another issue that's going on now. So if you guys have seen the video of Christian Cooper in the park in New York telling that woman to leash her dog up,
which is
she was like,
actually so
I'm going to tell the police that an African American is harassing me, which she knew what she was doing. 100%. See, this is another thing as well. She wasn't overtly racist there, but she knew by saying to the police, I'm going to tell them that an African American is harassing me, what would happen. And then you have consequences like what's happened to George. So yeah, she knew what she was doing there. But yeah, that's just an example of like being a Karen. Like you say like little things that are gonna wind people up, or like that no one can really come back on you on, because you weren't really actually being racist, but you were low-key being racist. And I feel like we can all relate to that, where there's just
definitely
little things that are being said like that. I mean,
or you'll do something that's the same as what someone else has done, but when you do it,
yeah, then you get pulled up on it.
It's a bit weird.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, sometimes the beat becomes a bit black, you know, and and it's just weird.
I mean, you can like be having a conversation with someone, and then like all seems well, and then maybe like 2 Tuesdays you have a meeting with your manager, and they're like, oh, you know, like so and so said that you were like, you know, you were coming across as a bit intimidating. And I was like, whoa, I thought we were just having a conversation here. Intimidating. 100%. What's going on here?
I feel like they use that intimidating card a bit too much, don't you think?
That is
too much,
and it's
like how. But deep it though, yeah.
They know what they're saying, but they know what they're doing.
We're in your country, low key, yeah. And how can you be feeling intimidated by it? I don't get it. And not to add,
do you know what I mean? We're the minority. We're
such the minority. Here. Like, what is there? 11% black people in this country, and exactly. I'm not 100% sure of the percentages for, you know, other races, but really and truly, like, it's really not much. And so I just do. It's so crazy. Like, I literally
it is insane. and it's just really sad as well. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And also that there's like little things as well. Like I remember work, and I actually only realised this like a couple of years ago. So I used to work in a pub when I was when I was at uni in Brighton. And I only realised this a couple of years ago that it was like some low-key racist shit. But basically, like, I was starting another job before I worked there, and I was like, oh, by the way, I am going to be starting another job, so like just let you know, like I won't be doing like full shifts here. They're like, yeah, it's cool, it's fine. And then I started working at the other job, and they were getting like really funny about it, like, oh, you don't care about this job, and just being like really aggressive and like mean to me. So yeah, anyway, my housemate also started the job there after me. And then we were obviously moving out. I was moving back to London. He was going back to where he was from. And then when we left, they were like, oh, well, do you use some leaving drinks to him, but not to me?
Ooh,
and I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
deep.
wait a minute. Was I not working here before him?
Gosh.
And like, I didn't even clock it. I didn't even clock it until like a couple of years ago. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that isn't right. And I was like, oh, maybe it's just because like, you know, he like announced it before me, because I was leaving like maybe a couple of days after him. But even still, you knew that we were both leaving. But he's getting the leaving party and I'm not getting the leaving party, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, that's
so there's stuff
sad.
like that, and like
sad.
No one was. And again, like, how, if as a black person, how can you accuse people of doing that thing? Because no one really said anything racist. No one really like was like, oh, you're this, you're that. No one said anything. It's just that underlying like really sneaky shit like that always goes on. And like, unless if you're black or a person of color, you're not going to be able to see that or identify to that, because if I told that to another person, they'd be like, oh no, it's, you know, it might have just been a misunderstanding. No, that was not a misunderstanding. I knew what was going on there, from how they were treating me from when I was starting to work my other job to then stuff like that. It's like, you know, I can kind of figure it out for myself. Do you know what I mean?
It's mad. No, I completely agree. And to be honest with you, there's so many examples and just so many instances where things like this happen. But I think, you know, we kind of touched upon it at the beginning of the episode, and just to sort of, I guess, round it off in a sense, it's like we just have to stand strong together, you know, always like try your best to be like solution focused, like don't even let things make you sweat. Like my whole like motto and stuff is like never letting anyone see me sweat, like theoretically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I always say that, I'm like if I'm tripping, I trip low key, or I go to toilet, I trip by myself, come back and I act normal. Or, you know, if someone's trying to like bait you or anything like that, then just don't play into it, because unfortunately, you know, we're not given the opportunity to really defend ourselves. And I pray and hope that does change one day. However, as it stands right now, as far as our experiences are concerned, you know, unfortunately that just isn't the case. But listen, we can stand together in power. I believe in all people stand together, no matter what race you are. And it's unfortunate that we are dealing with some of these things, you know, quite obviously in the press as well as just like in our everyday lives. But to be honest with you, we can do this, and it just takes everyone to stand together, man. So yeah, I think that kind of rounds it up quite nicely. Yeah. So.
I mean, like, we got to keep strong, guys, and like,
definitely,
Black Lives Matter every day.
Always, man.
Always. Yeah, guys, keep strong. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes.
And like, yeah, we you know, we're always here to bring the bounce. Like, you know, we
always
like to just keep it nice and
keep
chill.
it G. But we also do need to like recognize things that are happening too.
Definitely.
So that's important to us as well. But thank you for listening, as Afia's already said.
You.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram, drop onto our Spotify, our YouTube.
Yeah, we're on everything now.
Yeah, exactly. So
Spotify, YouTube,
SoundCloud. So at Alté Ldn podcast. Show us some love.
Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.